move on down to the Gullah people down in Charleston and those people, you have all kinds of different languages that we use.
That's right.
Just like the Eastern European Jewish, their patois is Yiddish.
Right.
They speak Yiddish. So we understand that. But a lot of people who don't understand it, that's why we're always here to try to get you to think. Even if we got off the sports thing a little bit, we try to do a little historical perspective. Right. The most interesting person that you have researched since you've been doing this, since you did the book?
Wow, there's so many. But if I could give you one from the past and one from the present, one from the past, a gentleman by the name of Woody Strode competed in the 1936 Olympics at UCLA. He was a teammate of a guy named Kenny Washington, and another teammate was Jackie Robinson. They were called the Gold Dust Gang. And those three gentlemen went on to integrate two of the major professional sports. Kenny Washington and Woody Strode signed with the LA Rams in the NFL in '46, and in '47, Jackie went up to the majors with the Brooklyn Dodgers. Woody then became a pioneer, a black pioneer in professional wrestling.
Plus he acted many years
Then he went into acting and acted all the way up until his death in the early '90s.
Right, exactly.
Now, a great individual. So fantastic was his body that Adolf Hitler commissioned a portrait of his body nude because he was such a great physical specimen. We hear about Jesse Owens, but we don't hear about how Hitler marveled at just looking at this 6'4" black man. Now, one from the present. Ron Simmons was actually the very first black wrestler to be universally recognized as a world champ in '92.
And he was an All-American at Florida State playing for Bobby Bowden, too. Don't go away. We got more with some interesting stuff. Julian Shabazz is talking about it. His book's about blacks in the world of wrestling. Here's a look back into our Sports Talk archives. Let's go back to this date, 1985, that Danny Sullivan recovered from a dangerous spin on the 120th lap, went on to win the Indianapolis 500 by just 2.4 seconds over Mario Andretti. Be right back.
Promotional support is provided by Ultimate Limousine. For the ultimate in limousine service, call 1-800-244-0404. And by Tower Records, with locations in D.C., Rockville, Alexandria, Fair Oaks, and Annapolis. At Tower, the difference is the selection. And by Great Seats. When you need tickets to the big game or big show, there's only one place to go. Get your seats at Great Seats.
Before there was Deion Sanders or Bo Jackson, there was Ernie the Big Cat Ladd, who had notable careers in pro wrestling and pro football, quite a character and a fan favorite. Welcome back to Sports Talk. Our guest is author Julian Shabazz. Congratulations to you, Stanley. You live in Alexandria. You saw the nice Sports Talk stamper, and we're happy to give you that gift certificate from Maggiano's Restaurant. Maggiano's in Chevy Chase now offers the ultimate Sunday family brunch. I got to check that out, too. And, hey, check it out by stopping by Maggiano's in Tyson's 2 Galleria. Hey, Marshall, go ahead and thanks for waiting, buddy. Go ahead.
Evening, brothers. How y'all doing?
How you doing, Marshall?
Hey, Marshall.
Well, first of all, I started laughing when I saw Ernie Ladd with the taped-up thumb. He used to poke people in the eye all the time back in the day. My mom turned me on to this about back up Poughkeepsie, New York all the time. She used to talk about Gorgeous George. She used to go see him wrestle in the 50s. But
that was my grandmother's favorite.
But I'm glad you brought up about the Ron Simmons, because I remember, I thought it was like 92. I was like, wait a minute. The WWF didn't do anything with someone of color until, geez, just this past year. I think The Rock's the very first one.
98. Believe it or not, the very first world champion, black world champion in the WWF was Jacqueline. She was the very first one, Jacqueline.
Oh, the woman, that's right.
Yeah, then 2 months later, Rocky won the first title.
See, they can say all they want about Ted Turner, but, you know, that was he made a decision, what, 2-3 years into the sport.
Right.
But I remember the days when Johnny Rod used to get his butt kicked every week. I was like, this poor brother, please, just go play baseball or something. And, you know, I just hope that they turn it around a little bit more and stop with the stereotypes as much. Yeah. I'm a school teacher, and the stuff you deal with in the school, it's a headache.
Yeah, I know about the whole role model thing gets a little twisted sometimes. Thanks, Marshall.
No problem.
All right. Marshall. Go ahead, Monty, you're on the air. Monty?
Hey, how you doing, Glenn?
Hey, buddy, go ahead.
Oh, man, this is something wonderful. Y'all must be reading my mind this time. Look here, I've been watching your show for a long time. This is the first time I ever called in. How you doing, Mr. Shabazz?
Monty, great, my brother.
Look here, let me talk to you. First question I want to get off my chest is this. I've been talking to my daughter. She's been interested, man. She's 20, and she's been interested in wrestling off and on for the last 15 years. And I told her I used to sit there and watch the Elliott Ness and Untouchables, and then wrestling came on after that. And I'm heading on the other side of 50 now. So it was a thing I just compared. I've been telling her about the black wrestlers of the past for years, years, and years, and never had anyone to confirm what I have to say because you never see them. Matter of fact, I'm not a wrestling fanatic, but my little pet dog is named Coco Beware. And he was named after Coco Beware.
Yeah.
But one question I want to ask you, Mr. Shabazz, is this. Can you give me any information on my most famous wrestler in my mind that stuck in my mind since I was 6 or 7 years old, Bobo Brazil?
Bobo is in the book, and Bobo is one of the reasons that I did the book in the first place. You remember Bobo passed away in '98, as did the Junkyard Dog in '98. And what happened was, I knew then there was no way to, no one had chronicled this great history. So I did it. Go out and grab this book, man. I got an excellent section on Bobo, and it's loaded with photographs.
Okay, put it, Cherry, we're going to put it up on the screen where we can get this book, websites, everything. We got a website? Do you have a website?
Yes, www.awesomecommunications.com.
Okay.
Also at Amazon.com.
There it is, right there. Black Stars of Professional Wrestling, very interesting. Hey, man, have a safe trip back. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Glenn.
Okay, buddy. Take care. That's going to do it for this edition of Sports Talk. Thanks for tuning in and calling. Domino's Pizza, thank you for another good pizza party. We had a nice one for Julian Shabazz. I'm Glenn Harris, and I always say no matter what we say or how we say it, when we leave this living room, we always leave in friendship, because that's really what it's all about. I'll see y'all next time.